Hi guys, welcome back to the We Travel Alone YouTube channel. For anyone who hasn't seen any of our first two videos, it's our story about going from being 9 to 5 workers to being digital nomads on the road.
We're not the typical digital nomads, the younger people who you see all the time in flowy dresses and beautiful bathers on the beach. We're just an ordinary couple or an ordinary family from regional Victoria who are trying to make it work.
So this week on our Facebook page, we asked if anyone had any questions about what we're planning to do, where we're planning to go, etc. Michelle was nice enough to ask some really good questions that we're now going to answer.
So her first question was, how long do we plan on staying in a place? It's a really good question. It's hard to know. There's 100 different things you have to consider, visas and all that sort of thing. But we literally want to stay in a place that gives us time to explore, see, do, and work at the same time.
That it does. Look, when you go on holiday, you only generally stay in a place a short amount of time. We want to stay a little bit longer so that we can get to know the place a little bit better, find all them little hole-in-the-wall restaurants, get in touch with the culture of the place, really get a feel for it. So more like living in the destination, not actually holidaying in the destination.
We did a gap year a few years ago with our daughters, so we're not new to living in foreign places. But one thing we did learn is that sometimes your accommodation isn't all it's cracked up to be. So our plan is to pick our first destination, stay in a hotel for a little while, maybe a week or so, and then find somewhere that really suits us and what we need.
So most likely we would stay in an Airbnb because if there's three of us going, our daughter as well, then we'd need a place that's got 2 rooms. So what we've done before is we find an Airbnb possibly, and then we message the owner and ask if we can have a look before we actually book it. That way we know that it has everything we need, has 2 bedrooms, has kitchen, maybe has a desk, what the area is like around it, is there anywhere to go and eat, how fast public transport, all them sort of things need to be taken into consideration if you're going to stay somewhere for 1 or 2 months at a time.
So our plan is to get not as many places as possible, but to visit as many places as possible with a base. Again, the visas are the one thing that we're going to have to be very conscious of.
All over. So Michelle asked if we were planning destinations that we were going to go to. It's nothing planned specifically. We have a huge list of places that we'd like to go and stay at. It never gets smaller. So, basically we could travel for an endless amount of time and still find places that we want to go. Like there's places in Asia that we've been before that we'd really like to go and stay longer in, places such as like Ho Chi Minh City, Bali, Bangkok, things like that. And then there's also Europe, which we plan on heading up at some stage. So, and there's definitely an endless amount of places in Europe that we've been to that we loved. I'd like to go back and stay in Split, Germany, places like that we've done before, but really enjoyed the food and culture and sites in them sort of areas.
What we're thinking is to start really in Asia, as we've made mention of in some previous videos that you can have a look back at. Is our daughter Marley is 15 years old and she needs to come with us now. Originally it was just going to be the 2 of us, and now it's going to be the 3 of us, and she'll be doing schooling through the Victorian Education Department, and it will be online. So we're thinking we really do need to...
That was an untimely moment, wasn't it? But that's okay.
That's what happens when you have your phone sitting right next to it. Being in Asia is a better time zone for her. She does need to log on and off. We're researching more of that, and we'll have a video about the requirements for her. Yeah.
Michelle also wanted to know whether we're going to learn a language. For me, I would say probably not, because each country has a lot of different languages, but over the time we've picked up enough words to say hello, thank you, how much is this? So if you can pick up some essential words that can help you out in day-to-day living in each country, that's probably all you really need. Look, if we were going to stay somewhere for maybe a 12-month period, which you can in places, you can get a digital nomad visa that allows you to stay for 12 months or more, then look, surely you would have a look at learning a language a bit deeper. But if you're going to move to different countries every 1 to 2 months, then you'd certainly not worry about learning the full language.
Yeah. We would like, though, we did find it easier during our gap year to have those basic phrases, and it really expanded learning for the girls as well, and that I think will be beneficial for Marley, and it's beneficial for us to be able to have those basic phrases to help you. So we'll try, but we might not be able to string too many sentences together by the end.
That's very true. Michelle also wants to know about what we do with travel insurance. Obviously, long-term travel requires travel insurance, as everyone knows, because medical costs can be prohibitive if you're going to hospital or doing things like that.
Which we have actually.
Which we have been to hospital many a times on our travel.
Yeah, we should just make a whole video out of like all the times we've been to hospital.
Yeah, so like
different things that we've had to experience.
Like I've personally been to hospital in Munich, Baden-Baden and Phnom Penh.
Yeah. Willow's had a go in, oh no, she was only doctor's surgeries.
Yeah.
So that's probably another video that we could do about health places, healthcare overseas. But yeah, travel insurance, and we are the poster family for how important travel insurance is. We would have come home to a massive debt with Mark being so sick in Cambodia. So we don't actually travel without travel insurance.
I say a lot to people who ask about travel insurance on the internet. If you can't afford travel insurance, you can't afford to travel. It's that simple. So I had a quick look at travel insurance just a minute ago before we made this video to see what sort of pricing was looking like. So for 12 months, with a combination of Asia and Europe, you're looking somewhere around $1,800 for 3 people, fully comprehensive. So including, medical cancellations, lost luggage, dental, all the bells and whistles. When we went on our gap year, we really only took medical travel insurance and a small lost policy that we could claim up to $400 worth of stuff. So depending on where we're going and what we think, we may go down that road of just doing medical, because that's the most important and the most costly part of it. Like, if you lose a bag, well, surely you can replace the clothes. It's not that dear. Same with a cancelled flight. Most of the time when we're flying in between close countries in Asia or Europe, we'll only be on budget airlines anyway, so the tickets will all be, under $100 or so. And with most travel insurance policies, you've got a $250 to $400 excess anyway. So if you've got a cancelled flight with 3 people, you're going to pay as much in the excess as you're going to actually pay for the flights. So it's not really worth it. So, but definitely fully comprehensive medical is what we need everywhere.
Absolutely. And what we'll need to consider when we're finding travel insurance is where we can renew it. A lot of them specify that you have to be in your home country to renew. So that's a tricky one that we need to navigate and find. And basically one that fits within our budget. So,
because you don't want to spend a fortune on travel insurance. Like, as you've still got to be able to afford everything else as well. I mean, it's a necessity, but you don't want to pay over the top for it. But look, we'll work that out going forward. We've used a few different travel insurance companies over the journey for different bits and pieces.
As we've said, we've had to
claim on them. So look, claiming, it's all good to have insurance too, but claiming can sometimes be a little bit of a hassle. But that's, I guess, a whole other video. We've made claims before, and Rebecca's had to fight them all the way to the top to get them approved. But
yes, and that's the thing. You buy travel insurance for a reason. Yeah. And when you need to claim on it, you need to claim on it for a reason. You don't just do it for none. So when they sit and say, oh, no, you can't claim that because of this, and this, then of course you're going to fight them. So that seems to be my area of expertise. The
most important thing, though, with travel insurance is really read the PDF that comes with it. Like, read your terms and conditions, because there's a lot of tricky stuff in there that that's written into it that you would not think qualifies. Like, just for instance, quickly, we lost a bag on a train in Italy, in Naples, and they weren't going to pay it out because they said I didn't have a duty of care. So I wasn't holding the bag. The bag was sitting next to me. So, so they were trying to get out of it by saying I wasn't taking a duty of care with my bag. So there's lots of little clauses like that in your travel insurance policy that you really need to read. So,
and it's good that you do read it, but at the same time get not references, but get ideas of what has worked for people in the past who have had to claim. We did claim with one when as Mark said, we're in Bang, and he became very ill. They couldn't have helped me anymore, and I would really like to go with them again, but it will depend on cost and what their policy is to renewing if you're still overseas.
So that's the questions for today that Michelle sent in. If anyone else has got any questions, we're happy to do these Q&A videos. They're really good and they actually help everyone who wants to know what's going on. But for today, that's the video. But I can tell you what, next week we will actually be on a Virgin Voyages cruise going around Tasmania for 3 or 4 days. So stay tuned because we'll make a video from the boat as well.
So why are we on a cruise?
Why are we on a cruise? Because I think cruises are for old people, and I just turned 50, so does that qualify me as an old person? It possibly does. So we're going to take a 3-day cruise just to see if cruising is for us.
It's cruising for us.
Yeah, because literally when we travel, I'm an early riser, so I get up at 6 o'clock and I go out for a walk and love to get a coffee and check out the neighbourhoods we're in. Not quite sure I can do that on a boat, so we'll see how it goes.
It'll be interesting to see how he copes with it.
So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in again. Stay tuned for the next video. Check out the website, the Facebook page and the TikTok page, all under We Travel Alone.
And feel free to ask us any more questions.
You've got. Bye for now.
Bye.